and beautiful, very, very old, second oldest. Similarly, if you know about Buddhism, Buddhism was, Ashoka, the Hindu prince, the great Hindu prince, Ashoka, he had become Buddha. He had changed his religion to Buddhism, and his seat of government was Taxila. This Taxila, which is near Islamabad, and because of his becoming Buddha, the Buddhism it flourished in the whole of subcontinent, and then it moved towards China, towards Tibet, towards Hind, which is called as this Southeast Asia and up to Japan. There were two sects of Buddhism, and both of them they were transferred from Pakistan to that area. In Islamabad, just in Taxila, all the remnants of Buddhism you can find. There are stupas. There are more than 7 stupas in Pakistan. Stupa is a place which is said that it is beautiful, made of bricks. It is said that in stupa some part of Buddha himself are preserved. For example, one hair or some part of his body are in these stupas, it is said. So there are 8 stupas, very, very sacred for Buddhists. And one is very near to Islamabad in Rawat, just within Islamabad, and others are in Taxila. Then it goes towards Khyber Pakhtunkhwa up till this Swat Valley, if you know Swat. Swat is one of the most beautiful area of the world. If you find any time, at any part of your life, you should go to that place. And if you can't go, then you should see at least the pictures of that area. You cannot imagine how beautiful those areas are. There in Swat, Megora, there is the old city of Buddhists which had been excavated. And there we find another 2 big stupas on the hills. So Buddhism is also was a religion, then Jainism. Then during the British time, Christianity also flourished in Pakistan. There are so many churches in the whole of the country. And I forgot to bring that book. I will send you that book, The Churches of Pakistan. And I was very happy to find out that last year in Lahore, the first Orthodox church has been opened in Lahore. And mostly they are Catholic churches and Protestant churches in Pakistan because of British Raj. After that, the longest area, longest time is that of, then Islam was introduced here. Islam was introduced in subcontinent, and this part of, which is now called as Pakistan, it was for the first time it came into Sindh province of Pakistan, and the name of that general was Muhammad bin Qasim. He was a young chap of 17 years who conquered the whole of Sindh up to most parts of Punjab and made a permanent presence here in 7th century. That was 712, in the beginning of 18th century. Then Islam remained here in some forms in these areas. In 10th century, it came from other side, from Afghan side. There was Mahmud of Ghazna, and he started attacking India, and every year he used to attack India, but he didn't capture India. But he captured the whole of Punjab and appointed his governor at Lahore. At that time, Lahore became the capital of the province. And from 10th century, this is in the beginning of 10th century, he made 17 attacks on India, but he captured only Punjab, no else. So in Punjab and Sindh, this area, Islam was a permanent presence from 7th century. After that, in the beginning of 12th century, there was some Turkish origin kings, and perhaps this is what I feel. It was the first ever in the history of humanity that some slaves, they established a dynasty in India that is called the slave dynasty. That was a Turk king whose slaves, they became the kings, and for a long time they ruled the whole of subcontinent. which is now India, Bangladesh and these areas, and Pakistan. They ruled, their capital was in Delhi, and after that he was Uzbek, Zahiruddin Babur, if you know. The British writers, they say he was the king, he was the prince of autobiography writers. His autobiography is so beautiful. I would love if you start it, then you can't leave it without finishing it at once. It is so beautiful, so interesting. He was from Uzbekistan, and he was a very nice poet, very good writer, and very brave man. He established the Mughal dynasty in India, which ruled for more than 200 years. And all the big monuments which you find either in India or in Pakistan, most of those buildings were made by including Taj Mahal and mosques at Lahore, at Delhi, and one mosque which he himself has established, Babur, that was destroyed by Hindu extremists in 1992. That was called as Babri Mosque, after the name of Zahiruddin Babur. That was totally destroyed at that time. So this was the whole process. Then British came to India and they deposed Mughals and destroyed everything in there. Their government started. Technically, they were present there for more than 180 years, but technically they made the government under the crown, under the British Raj, which is called as. It was almost 90 years or 100 years. Because in 1857 they established it, and in 1947 they left subcontinent. They were almost expelled by both, and these two countries were made.